There are things I need of you, things you may not understand and may not wish to do, but please do not make the same mistakes I did. My father Howard sent me a letter last year that led me into all this. To think that such a small event can change your life in such a violent way. Welcome back to Penumbra. This is the second episode. Penumbra Black Plague. And without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into the game. Normal.
Without this knowledge, without this foundation, you could not have the will to do what I must now ask of you. I followed my father to the Greenland wastes to uncover his secrets. You had to know how far I was willing to go. I found a disused mining shaft and took shelter from the storm. You had to know how desperate I was. I was plagued by doubts, fears, and mysteries, and aided by a madman, Red. You had to know how lonely I was. I incinerated my best friend. Red told me he wanted to die. You had to know how guilty I felt. I ventured boldly onwards, and was struck down by my own heroics. You had to know how stupid I was. All of these things, so human, so perfect, and yet still I failed to do what I must now ask of you.
Alright, here we are. Seems we've woken up again after whoever knocked us out. Do you hear that? It's locked. I'm held captive in a cell. I must find a way out of here soon. Jesus. Holy shit, man. Maybe whatever that was is going to come here next. I should probably find a way out. A ventilation cover. Damn, these screws are tight. I need some sort of tool to get this open. Let's look around. A vise in working condition, ready to squeeze anything or anyone. Oops, wow. Directions and guidelines for emergencies. Not much use now, although I guess this this is an emergency for sure. But not the one whoever wrote these was expecting. All seems quiet now, but I don't know, I better hurry. Found a coin. Oh. Between light and shadow exists an entire world. That world is necessarily our own. Get out, now. Oh. Huh, okay. I'm trying to get out. Oh, nice. A glow stick. Should be useful, yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in the last drawer. I probably... Okay. Now I have a flat coin, which should be usable on the screws. And now let's get the hell out of here. It's not much, but I guess this hole is my only way out of this hellhole. May 2001. I wasn't sure how long I'd been out, but my head still hurt. Either it hadn't been long, or they hit me really hard. I didn't have a clue what was going on, and all of a sudden I really didn't care. I was getting out. What is that? Oh. Didn't I just... Okay. Salvation, yeah, I take that. Salvation, mine or someone else's? Well, I guess you got my last note. We're through the thick of it now. If you, like me, have just escaped into the ventilation, we shouldn't be far from the stronghold set up in the mess hall. Should be safe there. I've been marking my route. If you follow that, you should be fine. Almost home and dry now. I heard Howard's been working on a cure. Maybe we can beat this thing after all. Maybe when I get back, we'll be able to sort everything out, and by the time you make it through, you'll be just in time for tea and medals. Maybe even some hot chocolate, how about that? I can't wait. I love hot chocolate. Neil Oswald, Chief Chemist. P.S. Careful of the mess hall security. I designed it myself. It's sensitive to organic material. Okay, let's look around. I really don't remember much of this. It looks like someone intentionally tried to block this way. They did a pretty good job too. Got a flare. It's just rubbish. A functioning soda machine. Come to think of it, I wouldn't mind a drink. Well then. No free drinks today. I got a coin. And it still works. Got a soda can. Whispering again. I'm definitely hearing whispering. Watch your stabs. It's blocked. Fully charged batteries. Nice. That's blocked up. But I feel like I might need these. Let's just take them with us. Oh, look at that. You can already see that there's some kind of collapsed floor. I think that stuff might be cold enough to kill me. And here's a freezer. What the fuck? That is one door that I don't mind being locked. And it is locked, thankfully. Okay. A thermostat controlling the amount of coolant running through these pipes. Huh. Well, that's easy. The cold can. Yep, that is a kind of a weird riddle, I think, but this metal or whatever is supposed to regulate this. So by holding the soda can against it, which was super oh shit, which was super cold. It thought that the room was colder than it was and stopped cooling it. Whoa.
Chef Carlito is waiting for you in the mess hall with insert today's specials here. A happy worker is an efficient worker, and only efficient workers will be fed.
Whatever this thing does, it looks as if it'll trigger if I try to pass. Huh. That could be me if I don't get out of here soon. The name tag says Neil Oswald, Chief Chemist. Well, he didn't make it far. Didn't he say he designed this thing? What? He just talk? No, he looks pretty dead to me. What do we have here? Patient notes: Darren Gray. Sex male, age 32. Nationality Austrian, I guess. Role: excavation team. First symptoms: patient reported mild disorientation and was asked to lie down. Mild sedatives administered. Sedatives? Hour 3, patient develops a rash on his neck. Possible infection entry point. Hour 4, 2 out of 3 full symptoms manifested. Déjà vu. Patient reports that he has already undergone standard tests when I am the only one who could have administered them. Paranoia. Said testing is abhorrent to the patient. I have no doubt that the third system, oral distortion, will take hold within the next 30 minutes. Abnormal noises, even disembodied voices and alternate personalities, are commonly reported in other infected staff. Hour 6. Patient secured, as per archaic standard procedure. Bolted the bastard down myself. We can't protect ourselves from infection, but we can take precautions with the infected. Hour 7. Patient pronounced expired by common consent of all those present. Expiration was caused by an overdose of insulin. I administered the dose myself at 6:12. Death did not occur for a further 13 minutes, 3 times the expected figure. I wonder to what extent Gray could still be considered a man. And finally, in this second episode, you can actually rotate things, which makes placing them so much easier. Now, I wonder if I can just jump over this by using some of these. Whee! Indeed, that worked. I'll leave that alone. Or can I just... Yeah, no idea. No idea. A message board full of scratch marks. What the f... Well, that scared the shit out of me. Today's lunch. Keep the unpure out. A food menu, not used food anymore. Only trusted blood will get through. Nothing happens, and it won't open. Looks like that device could be some kind of a lock. Well, what else do we have here? Can I take this? Wait, it looks like somebody barricaded something here. Which, if you think about it, is kind of unsettling. That what is unsettling is that I'm unbarricading it, because most of the times you do that to keep something out, right? Well, here goes nothing. The ventilation system is up and running, but the air smells rotten. I would really like to have a flashlight. Alcohol, yeah, I take that. Thanks. It's not the kind of alcohol I would want. Hey, one of these. These things are everywhere. There's still a part of me that's in there. Something that's drawing me in. Dated 1994, Hurricane John still rages in the Pacific and has become the longest lasting tropical cyclone ever recorded. Interesting. Okay, but how does that relate to anything? Oh, a tape. Oh, I can also activate this with a G. There's no need to put it on the hotkey one. Well, there's a tape deck. Now I have a tape cassette.
My name, Elof Carpenter. Rank, elevated. Status, Code C, imprisoned. Observing the turn-gat movement, I predict that it will be my cell they visit next. To my knowledge, I am the last remaining member of the Elevated at this facility, and so it falls upon me to ensure that Xeno protocol is not compromised. For that reason, I record here the only way I have discovered to neutralize the violent. The species... No, please! My name...
Well, shit. Oh dear. That did not sound like one of those dogs we've met so far. Remember in the first game, like the main enemies were spiders, fucking spiders, dogs and huge worms, but this kind of sounds like something else. I can't say for sure, some sort of safety instruction, I guess. What do we have here? That's locked, okay. Oh. Well, I think that's the cell I was in, isn't it? And this is probably the cell next to it, where I heard somebody getting killed. Damn, it's locked as well. What is this? I think it's some sort of fuse box that must control the electrics in this section of the facility. Well, what if the locks are electric? Nah, that's locked as well. No way I'll be able to pry this one open with my bare hands, and I don't have anything yet. That won't budge. Well, fuck. How am I supposed to do that? The wall has partially crumbled. Let's have another look in here. Wait a second. I can probably... maybe I can use this. Huh, well that was easier than I thought. Well, great. Now it's dark. A syringe. What the hell was that?
Someone there. Must have been a rat.
What the actual fuck? Oh my god.
There is my mind in hiding.
That thing looks terrifying. No wonder that was blocked. Whoa. That looked absolutely terrifying. Now, if you're wondering what I'm doing, the door said that it only opens to some of their own blood or something, so I suppose it only opens to, well, the blood of members of whatever this is. So I'm just going to use the syringe that I found in one of those medical, in this medical cupboard. Oh, I need to clean it. Well, on alcohol. Use the alcohol to clean and sterilize the syringe from all the old dry blood. There, I filled the syringe with blood from the corpse. Okay. And yeah, I don't want to go back there. I thought for a second that I wanted to examine the other room once more, but since that was the cell where I started, it's not like there's any reason. If this stronghold was anything like as elaborate as its security, I was in for an experience. I didn't know what to expect, but I was getting used to that. That light, it doesn't seem natural. Wow. Gotta say, this looks pretty cool. Really like the atmosphere. Welcome to the shelter. A CD labeled welcome briefing. And that's locked. Apparently this door is controlled from a remote location. However, it says here that it does open in the event of an emergency. Well, okay. Sounds like we probably have to make an emergency then. You're too late. Sorry. We packed up and left today. It's been 6 months since we established this stronghold, and a year since we released the Turengat virus. Clearly there's no one coming to rescue us. We took a vote and decided to head for the old mine shafts this installation was built over. Right towards the start of the troubles, one of the scientists got out that way. We haven't heard back from him, but you never know. The vote was 8-3 in favor. Maybe you remember the guy who kept eating spiders? I'm just wondering if one of the scientists of this is actually referring to that guy, because he went to the old mine, according to his diary. Anyone returning to this point, I suggest you do the same. There couldn't be more than a few more survivors out there, even now, and more of our number are disappearing, losing it or getting infected. You can make it out via the sewers, then into the shafts. Eventually we'll all have to find a way up and through the ice. We may yet die of cold, but it's better than what happened to Gray. The only person that may still be out there is Howard. Kind of our leader. He left base a few weeks ago, and that's part of what led us to this. He had converted the kitchen into an office and was translating some old texts when he claimed to have found a way to counteract the disease. But I guess he didn't make it. Amabel Carlito, Sue's chef. What does that mean? Or whatever. Kind of sounds like a female name. I'm not sure, but it sounds like a female name to me. Maybe that was the poor lady we heard getting horribly, brutally stabbed at the beginning. That sounded really horrible. Another fuse box, but this one seems to be broken. What do you mean it's broken? Well, if you say so. I believe that's the master switch for the power. Oh, I see what you mean by broken. What? Did you hear that? Did that come from down here? The drainage. I still can't get over how terrifying that thing looked. I actually haven't forgotten that from playing the game for the first time. Or I kind of forgot how exactly they looked, but I still remember that they look pretty terrifying. This is something I still remember. After seeing what this does, I remember it. Because if you examine it, he says that it's drenched with gasoline. Probably somebody used this to warm themselves up, is my guess. And because we just saw that we can make sparks fly with this broken fuse box, we can make a fire here. And maybe you noticed earlier that there are sprinklers. Let's see if I can... Yeah, haha, I like that riddle, that's nice. Because now we also produced an emergency and the door opens. Bye-bye. It won't open. No visible lock. Access is probably controlled elsewhere. Okay, and this? It's jammed. What is this, Silent Hill? Oh. I hope it stays jammed. Filthy with grease from years of abuse. Huh. It's a broken fridge. Nothing interesting. Can't open these. What about you? Anything in there? Let's rotate you. Nah, just garbage. You never know. An unpleasant odor is coming from the drain. Yeah. Doesn't really look pleasant. Same. Okay. Oh. Documents and articles, mostly to do with ancient languages and translation. What is this? A timeline of events. I copied the text on the screen to my notebook. Ah, interesting. We get a timeline. 1910. Northwestern lead mine opened. 17th of August of 1930. University of Copenhagen research suggests high local suicide rates may be due to chemical deposits. Despots in the mine. 3rd September 1939, World War II breaks out. 1st December 1939, part of lead mine converted into British command bunker. 14th August 1945, World War II ends. 15th of August 1945, commanding officer files report on ancient artifact discovered during routine maintenance. 1952, Northwestern lead mine is shut down. 1954, new lead and iron operations opened on site of old mine. 1969, malformed local fauna prompts assignment of Dr. J. Peters to the iron mine. 1970, Dr. Peters discovers abnormally large species of grey rock worm. Maybe that was the guy whose research room we found with all the texts on the wall, the writing on the wall. 21st of August 1972. Accident involving large-scale death causes entire mining operation to be shut down. Many bodies are never recovered. 19th of January 1973. Archaic becomes aware of events in Greenland. 1st of April 1973. Construction begins on shelter research station on site of abandoned Northwestern iron mine. 1975. Shelter construction complete. Key members include Overseer Brent Stefferson, chemist Troy Retinusk, and translator Howard Lafresque. Just if you don't remember, Philip, the main character, was looking for his father, or rather he got the weird letter and all that stuff from his father, and that father's name was Howard. And at the end of episode 1 we found this book or list of people in the shelter, whatever that is. Apparently it's where we are now, and it listed Howard as actually being alive. 1990, shelter operations expand to secondary excavation sites, including Site B, Water Cave. 12th of September 1991, Troy Retinusk replaced by Neil Oswald as attending chemist at Site B, which is the guy we found dead earlier. 6th of January 1992, Substance 63 and Artifact 66B discovered at Site B. 20th of February 1992, Site B closed due to hostile local fauna, which probably means fucking horrible dogs and worms and spiders. 3rd March 2000, primary excavation uncovers Turnguide tomb. Excavation continued despite protests from Howard Lafresque. 17th of April 2000, investigation of Turnguide tomb scheduled by Chief Overseer Wilbur Frisk. And the fact that that's the last entry, to me, suggests that this investigation did not exactly go very well. There is something reassuring about that feeling, like I've got one less thing to worry about. Go away, chair. Oh, what do we have here? Well, we'll see what this is in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed. Until then.